Good afternoon and welcome to another episode of Try Bonsai. This is your boy Bana as usual, and I have a new something to try here with all you. So, as you can see again, I changed my location. So, you're closer to the birdies as they tweet on along, and thanks to this microphone, you all should still hear me quite clearly. Alright? Nice. So, what we have going on here today? This, my friends, this grouping of trees, my friends, is a ficus. But not just any old ficus. It is called Ficus Compacta. Right? And I've had these were earliers that I got, and I have had these for a little bit. So let me bring you in closer so that you can see. And basically, what we're going to do today is we are going to do some pruning to these trees, remove all the dead stuff, try to encourage that more compact growth. And I'm also going to add a little bit of wire, just to straighten a couple of the trees because they're kind of leaning a bit, right? So let me bring all in closer so they could see what's happening inside here. All right, hold on. So my friends, as you could see, and I'm starting from one of the main trees, you're seeing some nice gorgeous roots there. And what I may have to do is to scar here a bit to give something about to bring a little more realism, because you're seeing a little bit of a lap, but you're seeing clear roots under. And what I want is a nice transition, if roots are to be exposed. So coming up this tree, this one particular tree, as you can see, you have some nice growth, but it comes all the way up here. And all of a sudden, as soon as I bring the camera up, they stop making noise like the camera shy. Crazy, yes? Anyways, so you're seeing I have a lot of growth up here. But what I want to do is to bring back these extended branches and bring them a bit more compact, taking away some of the dead branches that it has. And I have to do the same on this secondary tree here, the second tree, not secondary, but the second tree. And as you can see here, my friends, I would have made a cut sometime before to bring back down the growth. Now, when I did that cut, that was a random cut with no real kind of thought going into it. Anyways, we go make magic from it. And behind here, we have a third tree that is suffering because the other two big trees are shading it out. So, what we're going to do today is to bring all this growth back, continue feeding it so that we could get a lot more back budding. And I hope I get a lot more back budding, because to be quite honest, even though I've had these, I've never done any work with this particular species of ficus. So let's see how we go with that, with the back budding, and let's try to create something of a pending in future with these trees. And as I mentioned before, as you could see, I put a little piece of wire here. I'm gonna come in closer so you could see. I put a little piece of wire here to kind of hold these fellas apart a little bit and to prop them, straighten them a bit, because they're leaning quite a bit. If I remove the wire, you will understand what I'm saying. Right, so as you could see, they're kind of leaning, they're not straight. This fella is leaning backward rather than coming forward, and that is why I will add some wire to this. Then, my friends, in a couple months, what we're going to do is we're going to repot these fellas and put them into a nicer pot, not a makeshift thing, which is some of the things that I promote here on my channel. Not to sound like a rambling on, but I promote the use of things that you have at home. Not everybody is financially equipped to run and go and buy a bonsai pot, or in some cases bonsai pots are not available, and in order to grow some of your plants, sometimes you could use some of the little material you have home lying around the house. Make use of it, and when that time comes and it's time to transplant, you transplant it into something a bit more on the bonsai side of things, or you work within your budget, right? So this don't have to be an overly costly hobby, So let me don't ramble on any further, friends. Let me get it. Let me disco, and after this, I have another one that I need to look at, and then based on how things go, hopefully no rain will fall again, because rain has been falling. I'll be able to give you guys a little update as to what's happening in the yard. Alright? So, let me disco. Okay, my friends. So, I'm going to deal with this first tree that is coming out to you here. And let me turn it so that I can see exactly what I'm doing. As you can see, 1, 2, 3. Right? So with this first particular tree, and I got me a new shears, ratchet, pruners. Hey, I did thing, man. Alright, friends. So what's happening now is that what I want to do is to cut these branches back and try to see if we can encourage some back budding. Now, based on this here, you're seeing that it grows, it gives you shoots on the trunk. So, you go for goal or you don't go at all. Now, what I will try to do as well is to see if I can plant these as cuttings. So I'm going to make some rather severe cuts, and then I'm going to straighten. As I said before, I'm going to straighten. So let me get to it and see how this thing goes. Yeah? Nice.
My friend, you go lost if you put the cart before the horse. You go get nowhere if you're not making the right play. Look, you're still slashing and burning. From fossil fuels you're earning. You're overfishing and...
Okay, my friend, so what I did, as you can see, I need some major cuts, cutting back and hoping that these buds that are here would take off, and any dormant buds would then activate. I left this one leader here because the other two branches were directly under it. I couldn't have that. No. You're seeing that I need, as I said, I need some cuts before with no kind of real direction. And I'll have to do some cleaning so that this could kind of heal over better. But I'll bring this back down to almost a stick in a pot. And what I'm going to do is to put a piece of wire to straighten it like this. Likewise, this fellow. So I'm going to do the same exercise with this next big guy, taking back this branch, taking off this piece of dead wood here, cutting back this, or I could try to develop this up here as a tighter canopy. Develop this one here, develop this one here, to have a staggering in height, you know, and to give this fellow in the back here a chance to survive. So maybe that could be the goal for this guy up here. Not to take this back down to a stick in the pot, but to cut back so that I could create a canopy up here and probably a couple branches under, or whatever the case is. And let's see how that goes. Now, this is what I would have taken off so far. And I'm going to see if I could plant one or two of these, as many as I can, to see if they would root easily like the other types of ficus. I don't know. We'll go see how that goes. So, let me get on with it. Let me just go away. So, my friends, I had a laugh, yes? Well, I believe I cutting away, man, and taking and going about it, and only to realize I wasn't recording at all. Oh, well. So it just goes sometimes. So, let me bring Ole in to see what is happening. Okay, friends, as you can see, I took off a lot, and they're almost like sticks in a pot, a makeshift pot. So what I have to do now, what I did, there was a couple of stones here. I moved one of these stones to kind of straighten this guy a bit and to lean him away from the other guys. And now I'm going to drive a wire down into the dirt here to straighten this fellow so that he has his own breathing space, and do the same for this fella here, so that they don't cross up. So I have nearly tripped the some mush. So I have this wire here. I'm going to cut this in half. This is kind of strong, pretty strong, right? And I'm going to do some work with that. Right, so hold on for me.
Take a change. If you live in the past and all you're talking is oil and gas, take a change. If the cup talks they fly in Paris, Glasgow and Dubai, take a change. If the people
okay, friends, so as you can see, I straightened these two with a little bit of wire that is strong enough to hold them, and let's see how those go. Now, eventually when I repot them, I'd be able to position them a bit better. But as I'm not repotting them right now, I want for sunlight to go through and everything to work well. So, I'm going to try a bit of an experiment. I'm going to stick a couple of these cuttings into this soil with them here now. I'm going to put them in a recovery space and see if that works. And I'm going to take some of the other cuttings and stick them in some other soil. Right, so let's go, my friends. Who remembers the Ficus nervifolia that I collected? This is it. And as you can see, the difference between the older growth and the new growth, you're seeing a lot of light green leaves. Those are new leaves all over the place. It is growing quite well and thriving, doing he do and living. Now, all in all, I talk about my kryptonite. Look, I have some kryptonite here growing. I ain't do anything, nothing at all. Waiting to see. This has been planted into this spot that I painted, but this planting was done by my pal Errol. Right, this was done by my pal Errol. This is mine. I have it in my possession. It has been growing, and we're going slowly but surely. It's alive, and I'm thankful for it. So it has been planted in this spot to give that kind of a thing, and I have a decision to make because it comes up and it bifurcates at this point here. So it's either I keep the two or I take off one. Yeah, it's 1 out of the 2. It's either I keep the 2 or I take off one. And where this particular species is concerned, this particular species for me, I would use wire on this. I wouldn't go down the clip and grow with this particular species of plant. This is a ginseng ficus. Friends, I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with this ginseng ficus, but now I have an idea. So this is a video coming up in future where we're going to do some work with this and create something really very nice with this. So look out for that. This, my friends, is an area of an ironwood. Right? So let me come around so you can see the back of it. This is an area of an ironwood. And I have a dead piece. And as you can see, the roots spreading out nicely all over. And I am just allowing this to grow so that in future I could do some, not the distant future, in the near future, I could do some cutting back and try to create something from this piece of raw material. Right? Right next to it, I'm pulling it out. I have another ironwood area. Now I made a cut here, as you could see. I made several cuts and I have some more cutting to do. But this is going to be a very short, compact ironwood planting. You know, it's a double trunk actually. There's another double trunk, but one trunk is almost behind the other one. But what I have in store for this, or what I have in my mind for this, is that I'm not going to take away too much, probably just a couple crossing things and develop something very nicely from this. So again, I have a lot of videos to do and a lot of work to do, you know. Now my friends, I know I say I never really work with no twin trunk. But now that I'm looking at my collection, I realize that I have a few things with double trunks. And this, for those who know this particular species, especially my friends outside, this is called styrax or a water jasmine. And this, my friends, let me come down so you can see under, is a twin trunk with some beautiful roots. Look at that root spread. So, what would be the goal for this is to create, and it's already kind of doing it. So now what I have to do is some directional pruning, because I'm not going to apply wire to this. You know, I'm going to do some directional pruning to create that canopy over the top of this. And so my friends, this is the other tree that was collected by Evelyn. And again, Evelyn, thank you so very, very, very much for this. This is a Chinese hat. And my friends, as you can see, this Chinese hat take off and it growing and growing and growing. So what I have to do is to take away all of these shoots that are coming out at the base of the trunk. And as you can see, they're coming out all over the base of the trunk. Take out some of these shoots and let the top of it grow and fill out nicely. And we should have a something. We should have a real something. Just to show you, I tried a cutting from a juniper. That was a failure. Epic failure. Lastly, my candle tree forest. As you can see, it is doing quite well. Very, very well. And it is probably due for a little pruning, a little directional pruning, to kind of create some space and to avoid having any trees die because of lack of light. So I have some work to do there. And these, my friends, are the root cuttings from those trees in the forest. And as you can see, they're doing quite well. They're growing up nice. So this gives me more things to think about. What I want to do with this. What is the style I want to create? Where they're going to go? All of these things that I have to think about. That's the name of the game. That's the work. That's the thing we sign up for. You know, this is all part of the art form. Thinking about it and trying to create that vision. Just seeing what could be created in future. These are my fellows that just be singing away all the time. Singing away. And I have a few of them because I have 4 cages with birds in it now. I start with 2 and now I have 4. And my friends, I have babies. I know they're hearing. I'm going to try and see if you could see. I'm going to try and see if I could focus this camera. So you're seeing babies inside there. That's the mommy coming out. And there's a baby. Alright. Out of these babies this morning, I had to take out one of the babies because it died in there. And that's so late. No. Thank you so very much for joining me. This has been Try Bonsai. It's your boy Banner. And as per usual, you know, thank you for viewing. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking. You know, you have comments, drop them, I will answer. You have a question, drop it. You have a suggestion, give me it. I will take that. I'm taking it. Right? But all in all, thank you so very much for joining me. You know, I hope you enjoy my content. And if you do enjoy my content and you think that it will be beneficial for somebody else, you know, you share it away. You know? So, as usual, be good to yourself, be good to others, and we go link up. And I must give a shout out to my good friend, Heather Mac Intosh Simon. She has allowed me to use her music in this video, and it is her composition for 2024. Right?
I think it's fair to say that climate change is affecting everyone. So whether your part of the world is experiencing more heat or more cold, more drought or more flooding, we are all impacted. And I think that was the major reason for wanting to tackle this topic in 2024, because it is a topic that will resonate with everyone, wherever in the world you are. My friend, you go lost if you put the cart before the horse. You go get nowhere if you're not making the right play. Look, you're still slashing and burning. From fossil fuels you're earning. You're overfishing and farming. Massive forest you're harming. Naturally the planet get hot, but your bad habits wouldn't cut. Who you think must make the first move if the sick planet go improve? It take a change if you live in the past and all you're talking is oil and gas. It take a change if the cop talks they fly in Paris, Glasgow and Dubai. It take a change if the people they see they must be the change they want to be. We cause climate change, that's a fact. So it's we who must change it back. It's we who must change, we must rearrange to make the climate change back. It's we who must change, we must rearrange to make the climate change back. I am Heather Mac Intosh, and I'm inviting you to join me and the rest of the world as we try to reverse the effects of climate change and change it back.